Canada, Mexico, and China. We could see this 25% tariff issued on Canadian and Mexican products and 10% on China as soon as today. These three countries made up 42% of total U.S. imports last year alone. That's close to $470 billion worth of goods from Mexico, $402 billion from China, and $378 billion from Canada. And here's a list of some of the top products that we get from each country. If Trump's tariff threat is pushed through, economists warn that consumers will likely pay more for cars, phones, medicine, fruits and vegetables. We'll continue this conversation right now with global supply chain expert Kerim Kfuri. We want to thank you for being with us today on set, and thank you very much for my book as well, author of Supply Chain, holding it up right now. So as we take a look at what is happening, you know, we talk about the percentages. Who is it that decides that it's going to be Canada and Mexico 25%, China just 10? Who does that?
I mean, it's basically going to be the economists. You know, the economists within the White House, they essentially work hand in hand to make a determination on where they believe they could really move the needle. And, you know, it's a dramatic landscape that we're dealing with right now. We really have to be a little bit careful. Economic sanctions have always been an important part of the way that the United States will operate in the global economy. For many, many years, it was the source, a primary source of federal revenue. But then in the 1930s, we shifted over to more of the free trade economy, and we had obviously many different protocols with our neighboring nations. What we deal with here more than anything else is how far we take it before American consumers really are impacted, whether we're going to get into levels of inflation or recession and then possibly increases in unemployment. These are all things that need to be actively looked at and monitored and are looked at through reports like the PPI report, the CPI report. These things will get us a litmus test as far as how far we've gone with these tariffs.
Right. And, you know, a lot of people, the Associated Press specifically, reporting how Trump's threats worked on Colombia, but Canada and Mexico carry higher stakes. So, you know, as we take a look at how it went with Colombia and we take a look at what's about to happen with these three countries, how does that work and who ends up paying that price?
Well, in the end of the day, unfortunately, it will come to the American consumer. We will have increased costs. We will have less availability of certain products. It will even create domestic suppliers to increase their prices as the prices of imported goods go up as well. So really, this is a scenario where the American consumer is going to probably pay for these changes and shifts. It's necessary to protect our borders at all costs. This is important, and I understand why President Trump is doing such actions. But at the same time, too, if we're going too far and it ends up hurting our own citizens economically and in their pocketbooks, then maybe the intended result is not as we would all hope it to be.
Yeah, we were just showing a list of some of the things that you might see a price increase on. You know, I might not be buying a car tomorrow. What else am I going to be paying more for? And is it going to be immediate?
Yes, it will be, because almost 70% of our crude oil is coming from Mexico and Canada. And so we could see increases in gas prices up to 70 cents a gallon.
Whoa.
Pretty big shifts and changes. Obviously, in our agriculture, these are important, you know, our food products, things that we use every single day. We talk about as we get closer to things like the Super Bowl, that if the prices of avocados go up, then guacamole is going to be, you know, 10 times more expensive or whatever it may be.
Right.
But you know, there's many reverberating activities as well. A lot of lumber comes from Canada, building materials, things of that nature.
Right.
And then what you also have to look out for is the other side imposing their own tariffs. Canada is one of the largest purchaser of American goods. And so if they decide to impose tariffs the other way around or reduce their purchasing from the United States, that also impacts our economy.
Sure.
So there's a lot to be thinking about here regarding these trade tariffs and potential trade wars.
Wow. Got to take a deep breath and head into the new year with all of it. Kerim Kfuri, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much
for breaking it all down. And thanks for the book. Appreciate it. All right. Trump says that Venezuela is agreeing to receive illegal migrants captured in the U.S.